guys, welcome back to Surprise Inspiration Gardens. I'm Shad.
And I'm Grant, and we are at Longevity Gardens with Jake Mace, and we're going to do, ask him some questions, and then we're going to see the 10 trees that he believes that everyone should have in their garden. So,
can I just say, it's a pleasure to be here with you guys.
Yeah.
You guys are very respectable young people and good gardeners too. I've seen some of your videos, and you just helped me do some gardening projects as well.
so
What are some questions you guys have?
when did you get started, or what started you to, or what encouraged you to get started to grow your own edible trees and plants?
You know, I think that because I graduated high school in the year 2000, so I was the oldest of the millennials, and I feel like for millennials out there, this economy from about 2007 until today has been a depression. I think it's been very difficult. And so when I was in business for myself, and in 2007, 2008, when the economy got really depressed and bad, about 80% of my students of the martial arts left within a 1 to 2 month period. So I all of a sudden had a lot of stress with money.
Yeah.
And so my goal was, how can I keep feeding myself for a lot cheaper? And then Pam and I, my wife Pam and I, bought this house in Tempe. We figured, let's get a house that has a little bit of a yard to it and grow some edible trees. We planted a peach tree, a Florida Prince peach.
Yeah, we got one of those.
We planted a pomegranate and a fig, and we just figured every time that we get a food from our own yard, we're saving money and able to help pay the bills.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Were you always vegan, or when did you start being vegan?
How old are you?
I'm 11.
And you?
13.
And I was 19. So I went to China. I got a scholarship to go to China and study Mandarin for a semester. And my martial art teachers at the time were vegan, which I didn't even know what that meant.
Yeah.
Because I was the biggest meat and dairy eater you ever saw in your entire life. And I thought people that were vegetarian were kind of weird, skinny, weak, hippie people.
Yeah.
And so when my martial art teachers were able to punch me in the face and sweep me to the ground and take me out, I was like, wow, they're very strong and they're vegan. They only eat plants. And so I said, when I come back from China, I'll go vegan like them and try it out for a month, and I just kept doing it.
That's cool.
And so now I'm 34, 15 years.
Do
How about you guys? You guys eat the food out of your gardens,
Yeah,
right? And why do you like to eat kale and stuff out of your garden?
because we grew it. And
Yeah.
you grow it and you'll eat it, so that's how it goes.
What's the favorite thing to eat out of your garden?
Well, we have trees, which I'm hoping we're gonna get fruit from,
Mm-hmm.
and we have herbs, and I like the carrots, I like the tomatoes. I don't really have a favorite.
But
So-
if you were to go to your garden right now, what's growing in there that you like right
Kale.
now? Kale? Really?
Because it's probably the only thing that's really ripe right now.
That's cool.
Kale and sweet peppers, because
Yeah.
you can fight over them.
Really?
Yeah,
You ever
because
put
they're so
a
good.
sweet pepper inside the kale and wrap it up like a
No.
kale burrito?
We're too
Never
desperate
done
to just eat them, just pop them in.
It's like a race. Who can eat the most kale?
Yeah.
That's cool. You know, I think that when kids, or when adults even, when you grow your own food, you're going to eat more of it. And that's the cool thing about being vegan for me, is that most people that aren't vegan aren't going to go and, slaughter a pig in their backyard, but they will go grow kale. So I think it's easy for a vegan to grow their own food because you can grow a Barbados cherry or an ironwood or kale, and it's a healthy way to provide for yourself and your family in your backyard. That's another reason why I love to garden.
So, what are your your trees that you would
Recommend.
that you believe everyone should have? Top 10.
My top 10, or my favorite, or 10 that I love.
10 that you would recommend for someone just starting out.
I think it's important because I didn't know when I first started doing this what 10 were good, but I think I have it dialed in now. So the one behind me is one of my favorites. It's an ironwood tree. And the reason why is because the ironwood is native to Arizona, so
Yeah.
you never have to water it. It just survives off native rain, but it's very prickly. Like if you were to take your hand and go like this, it would poke you and catch you. So everybody who walks past it, that their head hits it, it grabs their hair. But this guy I got for $6.50 4 years ago from the Desert Botanical Gardens plant sale. It was in a 1-gallon pot, and now it's this size 4 years later. And he has not flowered or fruited yet. He's still young. But when they do, at the Botanical Garden where I teach Tai Chi classes, we eat them there. The flowers are edible, highly edible and highly nutritious, and then the flower turns into like a pea pod that is edible like edamame at a sushi restaurant. So both the pea pod and the flower are edible. So ironwood, definitely, you know, top 10 for Arizona gardeners.
Okay.
Next,
Yeah.
how about this one?
Okay.
Barbados cherry. So I think this is the hidden gem, hidden secret for all Phoenix area gardeners because it's also called a what?
Acerola.
Acerola. See, that's why I have these guys here. They're smart. The Barbados cherry or Acerola puts off edible cherries all throughout the year, I'm finding in Phoenix. You can take the full sun in the summertime, so plant it in a sunny spot of your yard. In the winter, only the top 1 inch or so of leaves got winter burn. The rest was
So you don't
fine.
need to cover it?
I did cover it, but just with like a little thin sheet
Okay.
on like a sub when it got below like a 30-degree night.
Okay.
And I think it's delicious. Plus, it's super high in vitamin C.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you do with birds? Do the birds like to eat these cherries?
Yeah, it's
What
like
do
a
you do with
race.
them?
You know, what I'm finding is that the bigger this guy gets, this guy's in year 2 of growing, the more that the cherries toward the bottom don't get eaten, and the ones at the top do. So I think that grow enough Barbados cherry plants where you get one and the birds get one.
Okay.
Yeah. That way, if you have like 6 Barbados cherry trees, at least you'll get half. Because
Yeah.
birds are a pest, but they're also our friends. So, next.
Yeah.
All right, follow me. Let's go over here. This tree's a good one. It's Thanksgiving time, 2015, and this tree is still doing well. And it's what kind of tree?
Neem oil or neem.
Neem oil tree, neem tree. And what do we use neem oil for?
Pests.
Like spraying it on the garden for
Yeah.
pest bugs. And this one, neem tree or neem leaf or the neem bark and twigs, all parts of the neem. If you Google search neem leaf or neem tree health benefits, there's over 200 known medicinal health benefits for neem.
Yeah.
People in Indian culture use it for all different natures of cures for illness, ceremonies like weddings, things like that. So I think that this tree grows
Yeah.
really fast. It's beautiful looking.
How old is it?
I've had it in the ground for 8 months,
Okay.
and it was half this size 8 months ago. It's doubled its size of the trunk, and doubled its height, and doubled its girth in 8 months. And the monsoons this summer were bending this tree at 45-degree angles, and it still survived. It was amazing.
That's awesome.
So definitely get a neem tree because they're fast-growing, very pretty, and highly medicinal. That's 3, right?
Yeah.
We're on to 4?
Yep.
All right, follow me. Oh, this way. I think this one's important. I think,
Loquat.
what is it called?
Loquat.
Exactly. And this loquat was already in I think like a 5-gallon pot or 10-gallon pot when I got him. Yep, and so somebody else had already grown this one from a graft, I believe. It was a grafted tree. And this one's called an advanced loquat. And it puts off an orange fruit that's similar in color to an apricot. And actually it's kind of fuzzy like an apricot, but it tastes like an apricot and a peach and maple syrup combination. I think loquats are the bomb. And my friend Seamus O'Leary, who pretty much hates all fruits and vegetables, he loves loquats.
Yeah.
And so if we can get Seamus to eat loquats, he'll tell you that that's his favorite fruit, and I agree with him. It's a fantastic tropical sweet fruit that is very
Yeah.
easy to grow in Phoenix. Even my friend Greg Peterson is growing loquat,
Yeah,
and
this
he's
tree's
huge tree. You guys been to
Yeah.
his place?
Yeah.
It's a very nice loquat tree. So I think loquat, that's number 4,
Yeah.
right?
It's number 4.
Number 4.
Yeah.
These are some young Barbados cherries that we planted. We're trying to do a hedge. So these guys are in year 1 still, and they're looking pretty good though. Let's go to the tropical fruit section, and I'll show you guys another one. I think that I'm just starting out doing this particular tree, but I think I've seen a lot of Arizona growers, Phoenix area growers, growing this very successfully is bananas.
Yeah.
And so a lot of my friends have very mature bananas, full of bananas all over them, and my friend just gave me a pup off of his banana tree back here. And so I'm gonna get into growing bananas. I have 4 banana trees right now.
Different kinds?
Ice Cream Bean and Goldfinger and Rajapuri. And I think they're really amazing. They look pretty.
And the flowers are amazing.
The flowers are amazing and edible.
Yeah. Bees love them.
Bees love them. And you can also eat them.
Yeah.
and they take the summer heat very well. And the winter, they will die back a little bit, but your goal will be to keep the stalk warm. And what we
You
do
did a
is
video on that, right? Where you protected them from
exactly.
the frost.
And so I do it like this. This is what I do. So this, for instance, is my papaya tree. And this papaya is, I'll do this to the bananas as well. We put a mesh or something around the trunk, and then I'll fill the inside with leaves. And that will be enough mulch going up the stalk of the tree to keep the tree 5 or 10 degrees warmer on the coldest nights, and that will protect the health of the tree. It might lose the leaves, but at least then it will grow taller and bigger and better next year.
Yeah.
Is that 5?
This
5
one's
is, was 5 of the banana?
5's bananas.
I wouldn't say papaya is in my top 10. I say papaya is cool. I like it. It's delicious, but not my top 10. I would say this one, star fruit, is in my top 10 for sure, because you guys have eaten star fruits before.
Yeah.
And how do they taste?
Well, we got them from the Asian market, so they weren't fresh. But
Have you tasted the fresh one?
no.
Okay,
they
this
taste good.
spring you'll come over and we'll do a fresh one.
Okay.
And do you guys have one of these?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's putting off flowers, and hopefully we'll get fruit.
That's
and
awesome.
kind of cucumber.
What's the other name for star fruit?
Carambola.
Oh man, you win the Jeopardy challenge for today. You knew that too. I'm sure you knew that. Carambola or star fruit, but this guy I think because the fruit is so delicious, and when you go to the stores, it's like $1 million each. They're so expensive. So I know a ton of my friends who've been gardening longer than me are all growing star fruit successfully, and this one itself was in a pot at Seamus O'Leary's last year, and he let me plant it here. And so we're going to try to get this guy to fruit, maybe 20 to 50 star fruits this year,
They
hopefully.
take full sun, so they're good for Arizona.
Exactly, and mine are starting to flower in the back there. See it all starting to flower up?
Yeah.
The stalk down.
Oh yeah, there we go. So hopefully I'll have a bunch of flowers or a bunch of fruits come the spring. Plus they fruit very early in the season. So
Fruit in that winter.
yeah, they fruit over the winter, exactly.
Yeah.
So we have ironwood, Barbados cherry,
Loquat.
loquat, we have banana,
And we have.
and star fruit. Is
Star
that
fruit.
5?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So we gotta do 5 more.
Yep.
All right, follow me. This one, down to my top 10. What kind of tree is this?
Brown turkey fig?
It's not a brown turkey fig, but it is a
Fig.
fig. It's a
Has-
black mission fig.
Fruit on it.
But brown turkey fig is my favorite. I love that one. And this one's 3 years old, and it would have been bigger, but I really neglected it for the first 2 years.
Got
So
chopped in half.
it did.
Right.
How'd you know that?
Across the video.
Oh man, these guys follow me on YouTube. Yeah, somebody in my martial arts class hit it with a throwing star and almost cut it in half. So I started over again. So he's now in a very healthy spot. He put off about 50 figs this year so far, and he still has a bunch still ripening. So I've been pulling off about 1 or 2 a day, and I have
Couple
about.
over here.
Are there? Cool.
Yeah, right here.
And I have about 6 fig trees. So these are the green ones, and then usually if I search for a few minutes, I'll find a ripe one. And they ripen twice a year, spring and fall, so they're pretty good for that.
Cool.
Everyone should have fig trees. Figs are so delicious. They're super high in fiber, so they're very nutritious, and they're almost impossible to find at the store because they don't ship very well. So I think it's really important to grow things that are expensive at the store, rare at the store, or are not seen at the store because you're getting nutrients in your body that you wouldn't have otherwise.
Yeah.
How about we go to this one? So I would say guava, maybe in my top 10. This is number 7.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So guava, because there's many different kinds of guava. This one's a giant Cuban white guava, and he's just been in the ground for 6 months. He has 1 guava so far. But I have about a dozen guavas here on my property that are all pretty young. I just started growing guavas about 1.5 years ago. And this one has literally tripled in size from when I planted it back in the spring. It was a very small pot. And I got it from Seamus O'Leary's, and my friend who's in Arcadia grows guava, and her tree is so big, it's 10 years old, and it puts out 1,000 guavas every year.
Dang.
It's a pink guava.
That's a lot of guavas.
Yeah. So I have a pink one as well called a Ruby Supreme, I think, and this one's a Cuban white. So guava is number 7 in
Yeah.
our list, is that right?
Yes. Yeah.
All right, let's go number 8, 9, and 10. Come on over. We're gonna go to the front yard.
Okay.
Actually, we're gonna go over here first. Come on. I would say this has got to be in your top 10. What kind of tree is this?
Carob.
How do you know this? Yeah. How did you know that was a carob?
Because you've been hanging out here for a while.
These guys know too much. Like, it took me 34 years to learn this kind of stuff. So what does a carob tree put off that you can eat?
Carob pods.
Carob pods. And what do they taste like, Shad? Chocolate.
Oh, yes.
They're chocolatey.
But they don't taste like the cocoa pods, the cacao trees. They're
Right,
very
not the
similar.
same, but similar. Let me go here with the sun's on me instead of you. Yeah, so they're not the same as chocolate, but they're still chocolatey-like tasting. So a lot of people that don't eat chocolate, they eat carob because carob has basically no fat, no caffeine, no cholesterol, and it has more protein because it's a bean.
And they're a little easier in Arizona.
Totally, way
Yeah.
easier. This is here because it'll become the biggest tree in my yard,
Yes.
hopefully, and it's a female. So this tree, normally I buy trees when they're small to save money. I buy trees about $20 to $40. But this one I paid a little more for it because I had to make sure it was a female. And males put off the pollen, females put off the flowers. And so if they were younger, I couldn't tell yet. So I got this one already a little more mature in like a 25-gallon pot because it already had flowers. I knew it was female, therefore I'm growing it. And oh, look at this. They're putting off flowers. Wow, I never saw this before. First time I'm growing flowers. See that? So that's what the female carob flower looks like little tentacles.
That's cool.
And the males put off like little pom-pom balls kind of thing. And so hopefully each one of those little white guys will turn into a bean pod. And this guy will be loaded with bean pods. And it will also hopefully eventually be so big we can walk underneath it and it will provide a canopy of shade. There's more down here. So this guy's loaded right now.
Wow.
We might get chocolate this year.
Cool.
Down here too. Wow, all over the place. I didn't see that until just now. See, you grow so many things.
There's one that's already looks like
Sometimes things surprise you.
it's gonna already start fruiting.
That's great. That's awesome. And there's so many my neighbors around the area that have male carob trees that it will pollinate my female. That's 8.
Yes.
2 more.
Two more.
Let's go to the front.
Okay.
Just got a big pile of wood chips delivered, so you gotta walk past the wood chips here. Front yard garden. We've had about 25 of these wood chip piles delivered so far. And we have about, I would say over 35 different fruit trees in the front yard here. And of course I could say citrus. I mean, I love my orange trees. I love the pomelo. I love the grapefruit, the lime. But they should be in my top 10, but they're like honorable mention. Everybody should have citrus trees, but let's stick with 2 that are a little more rare. So these guys up top, the moringa trees.
We eat the leaves and stuff, right?
Yeah, what do you guys know about the moringa?
They have 16 out of 18 or 18 out of 20 amino
Bark
acids.
roots,
Really?
the leaves,
Everything's
flowers.
edible on them.
Right.
Yes.
Do you guys have one?
No.
Not yet.
We're going to, and we already dug the hole for it. And
Do you have any seeds or anything?
Not yet.
Do you need some seeds?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna give you some seeds today. You'll leave me
Okay.
seeds.
Cool.
And plant them in like April,
Okay.
because they want the heat. So these guys went from being a seed, and now they're like this. It's been 2.5 years.
Don't they grow like 20 feet 1 year though?
Yeah, so the first year mine got to about 12 feet
Okay.
in the first year from seed. And in the winter time, it kind of knocks all the leaves off. And so I harvest all the leaves, we turn them into powder by dehydrating them outside, and we eat the protein powder on my smoothie. So that's where I get, instead of a vitamin, that's where I get my vitamins from. I don't take a lot of supplements. Even though I'm vegan, I just eat food like this.
That's
So
awesome.
definitely in my top 10, moringa, because they're so
Flower.
fast growing, super flower, and look at how many bees and hummingbirds and other kind of wildlife is up there.
Yeah.
They're like a sanctuary for wildlife, and they attract all these beneficial bees and such. And the cool thing is that, if you go over here, the leaves are edible. So let's go over on this side. I'll give you guys, we have a taste.
Drumstick.
Yeah, they call it the drumstick tree. once you hold that. They also say if you're a stud, that you can root the branch. Like you could technically put that in dirt and root it, but I don't know if that's actually true.
You should try it.
You should try. And you can get the bean pods in their young state like this, and you can eat these just like they're green beans. And they kind of got have a weird aftertaste.
It's like the first.
And then at the end, not though. Kind of weird tasting in the back. But if you cook them, they taste great. It cooks that weird taste out of it.
Okay.
So that's number 9. And this is my other star fruit. This guy's loaded with flowers. Number 9. And number 10, we're going to number 10. I know. Come on up.
Your jujube.
Yeah. Number 10 for sure. For sure my top 10, jujube tree. Everybody should have one of these. I got 3 of them. This one's a Lee variety of jujube. We also have a long and a contorted, but there's many varieties of jujube. And if you guys want to come here a little closer and check this out, they have spikes. Can you see them? Mm-hmm. So they're, he just got you in the head. How's your throat feel now from the bean?
Feels
Numb.
like fresh,
It's
kind of.
like medicine,
Yeah.
right? Because it's not necessarily delicious, it's just very nutritious. So if you cooked that, it wouldn't taste as bad anymore. It would taste good.
Okay.
I can tell you guys' face, you're starting to feel it.
Yes.
But you'll be healthy tomorrow. Jujube produces these red fruits that look like little apples, and we just harvested them last week, and we're dehydrating them in the house. So if you guys do a Google search for jujube, they also call it a Chinese date. And you want it to shrivel up and turn red and dehydrate down, just like that one is. And then you can eat, and it's kind of chewy, like a date is. As long as it's yellow like that, it's very delicious.
That's what the inside looks like.
There you go. So of these 10, which ones do you guys have so far?
Loquat, starfruit.
Barbados cherry.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's 3 we have.
And you also have avocados.
Yeah.
You have dragon
That wasn't on
fruits.
your list though.
It's not, but it's still good.
Yeah.
We have mango, peach.
What's your top 3?
What we would want to eat, or like what we planned first.
Yes.
Which one?
Exactly. Yes. All the above.
So we planted the Barbados cherry and then the avocados first.
Uh-huh.
And our favorites are going to be the lychee, or the lychee we're hoping tastes good, and the mango.
The mango and the peach.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? It's also my top 10 for sure. We got to add 10.5 is all the date palm trees.
Yeah.
A yard that's edible without date palms is not even worth anything. So get a fruiting date palm, a female date palm tree, and plant that. Because I think date palms will last for 100 years, beyond your lifetime. It'll be amazing.
Dang.
Yeah. Hopefully you'll be alive in 100 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Awesome. Any other questions you guys have about what we're doing here, what you're doing at your place? Or
Thank you, because it was, a really nice tour.
thanks for coming over and helping me with gardening projects. You guys are smarter than me, and you're younger than me, which means you guys have more potential than me. So keep it up.
Thank you.
How's that tasting?
Good.
There you go. I'll see you guys next time.